Hi, and welcome to today's podcast where we have invited Darren Hayden Joseph from LJ Tax, USA. Darren, can you also give us a background of what you do and what your firm specializes in?
Okay, HTJ.tax, and the website really is HTJ.tax. So we help demystify the sometimes confusing world of cross-border taxation. So we work with private clients who are exposed to multiple jurisdictions. So essentially, if you're just exposed to one single jurisdiction, we're probably on the best team to work with you. But if you are a business owner, investor, nomad, or just an international expat who's exposed to multiple jurisdictions, we can help you structure your situation to be optimal while 100% compliant. And on the back end, we help you with tax returns as well.
I would like to ask, can you point out some of the misconceptions that foreign entrepreneurs have when they think of starting up an LLC? As you have pointed out, like the concept of limited liability and it actually being a transparent company. What more broader misconceptions that you often encounter on this front? Yeah.
I think I think the number one misconception is the idea that it somehow allows you to immediately save on taxes. And I guess it's a common narrative. Form an LLC, you're going to be living some sort of tax-free life or having a tax-free business experience. And more times than not, an LLC has no impact on your taxes whatsoever. It is, as the name suggests, a limited liability company. It is about legal protection. It's about limiting the exposure of your business enterprise or whatever activity you're into. It's not about saving on taxes. Another misconception is the idea that when it comes to forming an LLC, you just go onto some website, you pay $100, and you form something in Delaware. Because Delaware, of course, is the most popular state for entity formation, especially internationally. The reality is where you form the LLC, which state you choose, and indeed if the LLC is the right solution for you and your team or your business, is really a function of the business model. So the first thing is really to have very clearly in your mind what the business model is, and ideally to have it documented. So when you approach a professional, the professional has complete visibility of what you're trying to achieve and can advise you accordingly. Another misconception, so the third one, I guess, would be the LLCs are about that they optimize your asset protection. Actually, depending on your situation, and especially if you are a non-US person, an LLC may or may not be the ideal solution from an asset protection perspective. So those are the three misconceptions. It's about tax optimization. The panacea, the answer to every question is Delaware, and that it maximizes your asset protection. It really doesn't. Now, there have been many cases that where what we call the veil of incorporation has been pierced. And what do I mean by it? So in law, the LLC is a legal person. It has its own rights and responsibilities. It can hire, it can fire, it can sue, it can execute contracts, and so on. So this ties into the whole idea of asset protection. If one is not careful, there are circumstances where the courts would allow that veil of incorporation to be pierced, and whoever is taking legal action against the LLC, and ultimately you as potentially the beneficial owner, they can pass through the LLC and bring action against you personally and have a claim on your assets personally or outside of the LLC. So that, I think that is very, very important for people to understand. It's not just paying a few $100 forming an LLC and it's all good. There are certain responsibilities that come with it. We've seen cases, I think in 2010 in Florida, and even other states like Wyoming, I think quite popularly, probably about 7 or 8 years ago, where the courts have allowed the veil to be pierced. and the legal action to be brought against the members of the LLC. Anyway, but generally speaking, the important thing is to understand your business model, speak with a professional, make sure the fit is right. Generally speaking, if you do have a choice as to where to form the LLC, and we can get into issues of nexus and permanent establishment later, but if you do have a choice, yeah, I mean, Delaware is a traditional choice, and they have a body of law that is that treats business owners quite favorably, and I think that's why they've become the jurisdiction of choice for incorporation. There's also Nevada, which is a decent alternative. It also relies on Delaware's long-standing body of favorable corporate law. So those are two popular jurisdictions. If privacy is your main concern, Delaware and Alaska tend to be popular options. If the entity is owned by a single member and something called charging order protection, which we can get into later, if that is a concern, then again, Nevada and Alaska are popular options. If maximum asset protection is what somebody's looking for, then really you're looking at an offshore structure as opposed to just an LLC. Yeah. So I think
sure. Thank you for such a detailed response, Darren.
So if you're a 6, 7, or 8-figure investor, entrepreneur, or business owner who needs a tailor-made solution from a qualified team of professionals, we can help you achieve the international lifestyle, the freedom, and even the tax savings you're looking for. Visit us at htj.tax and live that international life.